Hello, my name is Sarah. Welcome to the It is a Sarah podcast. Today it is Monday, June 9, 2025, and in this episode I want to share my handwerk perikelen, that's a Dutch word for crafty adventures, from this week with you. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and I love to talk, so that's the perfect combination for making this podcast. I make my episodes in Dutch and in English, so be sure you pick the right one. Okay, it is actually not Monday. I am lying a bit. It is Sunday morning, June 8th, and I have other plans on Monday, so I realized just a few minutes ago that this would be my only moment to film, and I don't know if you can hear it, but if you hear some background noise, that's my laundry, my washing machine. We are right at the spin cycle part of the program. Normally when I film episodes on Monday, I always have my laundry finished before I start filming because of the noise. But I didn't think about that because I didn't plan to film. So I hope it won't bother you too much. I think it's okay, but yeah. I have to hang my laundry within a few minutes. We do it all in between. Yeah. Okay, today I am wearing my scrappy Leith cardigan. It is the Leith cardigan by Clow from the Crochet podcast, and I made a scrappy version last year and I really love my cardigan. It's a DK weight, a pattern for DK weight yarn. I held all my fingering weight scraps together, mainly sock yarn, and I turned them into a very bright cardigan. I made 5 row stripes. I really loved working on this cardigan. I catched all the brightness into a brown border. This is a DK weight yarn. I don't remember exactly which DK weight yarn, but you can find it in my Ravelry notes. Yeah, I think it's the brown matches very good with the bright colors, and brown is absolutely my favorite color, so it keeps it all in balance. I don't wear this cardigan as much as I thought, I guess, because of the brightness. It doesn't feel good every day, but today's a very grey and rainy day, so then we can use some color. The other thing why I don't wear it as much as I thought is that I didn't add buttonholes and buttons. I wanted to wear it as an open fronted cardigan, but I think it will be better to have buttons, to can wear it closed. So I will add afterthought. that's it's always a little bit hard. Afterthought buttonholes. Not today, but yeah, I will add them and that will work out. I have a new gadget for buttonholes. For placing the buttonholes. I ordered some fabric last week to sew some new skirts, and then I found this thing. I don't know how you call it. I don't know the Dutch word and I don't know the English word. But it's a tool to place your buttons evenly on your sewing or knitting projects, and I knew the existence of this tool for quite some years, but you have a tool for everything, and I thought I can measure with my ruler and that's also okay, but I think it's quite challenging for me to place the buttons evenly spread, even with measuring very secure, and I'm not sure if this tool will solve that problem, because I always mark the places I want the buttonholes with a stitch marker or something else, and then I sew them on the fabric or on the knitted fabric or the sewn garment. And when my buttons are fixed, quite often I think, they are not as evenly as I thought, as I want. And again, I am not sure if this will fix that problem, because I think it's happening in the sewing process and not in the measuring process. But when I was ordering the fabric and I saw this one, I suddenly bought it. You know how it works. It's from Opry. Yeah. I will link down below where I bought it, but I don't really think, yeah, it's a Dutch online fabric shop, so I don't know if that is helpful for you, but then you can see how it looks and maybe some more information. So I will use it to replace my buttons, and I also want to be aware that I put the right front over the left front. Apparently that's a rule in the Netherlands, I think worldwide. I talked about it before. Every time I make something wrong, the left over the right, I get some comments, and I never knew that rule. Yeah, since before I was a knitter or a sewer. Am I a sewer? I don't know, I'm a wannabe sewer. But before I made garments, I wasn't aware of that there was a rule for it, but apparently the ladies put it right over front. So I will try to remember it when I make my afterthought buttonholes. Yeah. But it will not happen today. I bought another gadget. No, it's not a gadget. Pins. In Dutch we call them spelden. I have a lot of pins. All the bright colorful ones. And I didn't need those. But I really think this is so cute. All the same color. I love that. And then so lovely in a little glass jar. Is that how you say it? Yeah, it just looks nice as an accessory in my knitting or sewing office. So yeah, every now and then it's nice to buy things you don't need. Yeah. Okay, let me see. I did film a little bit earlier this week. I was organizing a 15 minutes day for myself, and I will tell you all about. So let's jump back to Tuesday. It was, I guess, no, Wednesday. It was Wednesday, and I will see you later. Hello! Today it is Wednesday, June 4, and I am sitting at my kitchen table, which is filled with a lot of knitting projects and 2 crochet projects. I want to share a little bit about them with you. Last episode I shared quite some knitting frustration, and that frustration was mainly caused by not picking the right knitting or crochet project on the right moment. I have a lot of projects on my needles. I love having that, and all those projects have their own function, I guess. Some are really there to do some relaxed knitting or crochet. Some are there to learn new things. Some are there to just have a project in which a lot of things are happening. Some are there just because I want to wear them or want to have them. All different levels. And last week there was a lot of frustration because I was picking the little bit more challenging projects when I actually needed calming and relaxing projects. So this week is much better. I have a lot more knitting time. I have not a very busy week right now, so that's a HeartJumping thing that makes me happy. But I thought, let's recharge my battery with first knitting some easy peasy knitting and crochet. So I did do that yesterday a little bit, and today I do that too, but I will do a 15 minutes day, because when I have an easy peasy project, I quite often get bored earlier than when I have a challenging project or a project in which a lot of is happening. And when I get bored, when I am knitting or crocheting and I get bored, I get distracted, and I spend my time on doing things that I actually don't want to do. For example, I pick my phone quite more often or longer. than I normally would do, and I don't want to spend time on my phone checking the news for the 100th, how do you say it in English, again, and checking my Instagram again. It's not what I want. I want to knit. And to avoid that kind of distraction, it really works for me to put an alarm clock on 15 minutes, work 15 minutes on an easy peasy project, enjoy the relaxed feeling, and then pick another easy peasy project for some refreshed knitting or crochet energy. And I put them all on my table, the projects on which I will work today. I don't have any other appointments today. Only in the evening I need to pick up one of my children, and I need to do some walking with the dog, but the rest of the day I am home alone, I think. And I have a lot of knitting time, a little bit of cleaning in between, but I did do that a lot yesterday, so maybe I can give myself a day off. And I thought this was the right moment to talk you a little bit through my easy peasy project. So yeah, let's check. Okay, let's start with one of my crochet projects. This is my woodland ripple blanket. I really love it. You're actually watching the back side. This is the front, the right side. Every stripe has 2 rows, and this row you are crocheting stitches only in the back side of the stitch, so you get this nice little ridge over the fabric. I really love that. I work on this project every morning, only 2 stripes, 2 rows. It takes a little bit too much time, so I did stop in the middle of a row right now, and I will finish it today, and then it will go back in the basket for tomorrow. My other early HeartJumping morning project is my Bits and Bobs blanket. It's also an advent calendar. This one is also an advent calendar, and I really love it. I have the advent calendar together with this Dundaga yarn. It's undyed, and it gives a lovely, wonderful fabric. I really love it. It will block out beautiful, and I thought it was dyed in a fade, but I see this color and then a stripe, and those two, they are quite similar. My next day will be, I only have a little bit left of day 3, and day 4 will be this beautiful color, and there will be happening a lot color wise. It's all in the basket. I need to wind it up, all those beautiful colors. So I'm very curious how this blanket will be, but it does feel lovely and very good. I knit 2 rows every morning, so it's a very slow growing project, but that's absolutely okay. I have another blanket right here. I put my needles out of it because I just finished, no, not just, a few weeks ago I finished one of the columns. This is my northeasterly blanket, and I weave in the yarn ends every time I finish a column. So that's now. I already started it a few weeks ago, but then nothing happened. So it is still waiting. So I will do some 15-minute yarn weaving in today. Yeah. There are still some yarn ends left, so I'm really looking forward to start the next column. Okay, then we have 3 pairs of socks. Let's start with this one. This pair of socks is for my sister. It is a lovely yarn from the same dyer as the advent calendar, chestnut and teal, that was it, I guess. I'm knitting a knit to purl to sock with a very long leg. I already knitted on it this morning. I have a weekly Wednesday morning neighbor coffee with my neighbors, and I brought this one. So this one will be last for today because it already had some knitting time. Another pair of socks, which I didn't touch for a while, are my Hopje socks. This is my second one, and yesterday I finished the stitch pattern, and I did knit 10 rounds for the before the toe, the last part of the foot, and now I only need to knit the toe, and then my pair of socks will be finished, so that's really nice. I don't think I can knit one toe in 15 minutes, so we shall see how far we will come. This is another sock, a new cast on I didn't show yet. It's a test knit I'm doing for a Dutch knitter. It's really a lovely pattern and I will share all the details about it later. It's not a very easy peasy pattern. It's not only straight knitting, all my other things are quite straight knitting. This one is not because it has some lace involved, but it's a very easy lace pattern and it's a test knit. So I want to give it a little bit of attention and I only need to finish a little bit of lace and then it will be an easy peasy project. So I will work on that one. Then I have my sporty tank. My sporty tank is at the point it's only knitting in the round, knit 2, purl 2. Yeah, there's a little bit of an exciting thing on this tank. And that's my yarn, because last year I knitted a sporty tank with 1 skein of sock yarn. But now I did go up 1 needle size and I did go up 1 size. And I did fits and it was really looking nice. But also I realized I need a lot more centimeters to the body. And I'm quite sure I won't make it with this yarn. I couldn't find it in the web shop anymore. So I'm not sure if I can order another skein, and I am thinking about a color block bottom or something. I have enough other skeins I can compare it with, but I actually don't want to, and I'm a little bit ignoring that I probably will run out of yarn. I am doing as if I will make it with this little yarn cake, which obviously will not happen, but we shall see. What I will do, but not today because that's too difficult, but I will knit the I-cord borders on the neckline and the armholes, and I will try to knit from the inside out of the yarn cake. I definitely don't want to do that with a contrast color because it's quite a challenge for me to knit an I-cord border nice and neat with picking up stitches, and when I do it with a contrast yarn it only will be more visible and more yeah, an eye catcher, and I actually wanted to be a little bit yeah, being part of the rest without being an eye catcher, so you can't see my messy I-cord. Then I have my Audrey and Unst vest. It is really a beautiful yarn. It's a bottom-up vest and you knit stockinette endless in fingering weight. So although it is beautiful, it is also very boring. I think I need to knit to 25 rows and then I will start some increasing, very slow. I didn't touch this for a while right now, but this is definitely something I really want in my wardrobe. I love the yarn, I love the color. It's also a Dutch dyer, but it's just... the fun thing is happening at the end. So first you need to struggle you through the whole body. But that's absolutely a relaxed knitting, but it's very good to do a little bit every now and then for me. Then I have another beautiful lace, no, not lace, hand-dyed yarn in the color brown. It's lovely, and I'm knitting a plain Maema cardigan, and it's quite busy on my needles right now because I'm not far from splitting for the sleeves. I have some doubts about splitting for the sleeves because I think I have enough stitches already for the sleeves, but I replaced the knit front back increase for a yarn over increase, which is quite visible. And I regret that a little bit right now because I'm worried that you will see very good that I stopped increasing. Yeah, the increases are a little bit more visible. So stopping with the increase is also visible. But I am wearing my first Maema cardigan now, and it will happen in the armpit. So maybe it will be not a problem. So we shall see that today. And I think last but not least, my lowrider cardigan, a crochet pattern. This is really at an easy point right now, but that doesn't mean that I won't make mistakes, because last week this was also a frustration. I'm at a point at my cardigan, it's a top-down cardigan, that I only need to crochet rows back and forth, but and in the granny stitch, and that's really, I can dream that stitch. But I did make mistakes last week. With granny stitch rows, you have 2 stitches at the beginning, 1 row and the end, and the other row you have 1. And I made mistakes in that, and also every now and then I accidentally made clusters of 4 stitches instead of clusters of 3, and ripping out was really not nice with this yarn. So it was a little bit of frustration last week too, but I think I can handle it today. So all those projects are waiting on the table. I have this alarm clock. Oh, I accidentally put it on when I was filming for the Dutch episode. Yeah, 37 minutes is way too much. I will put it on 15 minutes. I can't do that with one hand. I have to put them together. Those. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I will sit and knit or crochet or weave in yarn ends, and when my alarm goes I will change for another project. Yeah, and that keeps my energy refreshed and not bored, and I think I can do a lot of knitting and crochet work today. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm home alone, so this big mess at the table is not a problem for anyone. Yeah, so I can have a creative day. But before I will start with my 15 minutes day, I will do a little hike with the dog. A little walk, not a hike. In the Netherlands you walk. It's all flat, and hiking sounds more for, yeah, some more adventurous environment. Okay, see you later, I guess. Bye bye! Okay, I cannot remember if I also filmed a little bit the rest of my 15 minutes day, but I do remember that it was a lovely day. It was really relaxing, really heart jumping, really inspiring, recharging, dividing my crafting time, my knitting, mainly knitting time, into 15 minutes really works to keep the motivation high. Every now and then I also do that in combination with some cleaning and organizing tasks in the house. Mainly when I'm really not motivated to do those tasks. I'm always motivated to do some knitting or crochet, but I'm not always motivated to do some cleaning or organizing. But I know I feel better when I finish those tasks. But when I can't find the motivation, I do 15 minutes days too. And I alternate 15 minutes of cleaning or organizing with 15 minutes of knitting or crochet. And that really works good because I can do something I really love to do, and I also do something that really needs to be done. And yeah, it feels as if it's a good balance. But I'm really recharged again. I was really busy and all the things were going wrong in my knitting life, but I'm okay now. And yeah, the 15 minutes day really helped. I have a few projects I want to share with you today, and let's start with this lovely sock. I'm doing a test knit. I'm doing a test knit for a Dutch knitter. A Dutch sock knitter. She's also a yarn dyer, and she dyed my advent calendar I am making my my woodland ripple blanket with. Her name is Manon, and her company is called Witzomer, which means white summer. And this is her second sock design. She just released her first design a few weeks ago. I can't remember the name. The pattern is in English. And this is her second design, and it is being tested right now, and I'm one of the testers, and I really love it. It's a very simple sock with a lovely lace panel at the back of your leg. It's a top-down sock, a cuff-down sock, and the rest of the sock is plain, so no pattern at the front leg, and no pattern at the front foot. Yeah, I'm knitting the smallest size, and it will be a sock for my youngest daughter. So let me change the leg so you can see the lovely pattern. There are 2 coffee bean columns at the sides and lovely lace pattern at the middle, and it's really satisfying to knit. Not challenging, just lovely lace knitting, and yeah, the rest of the sock is quite easy peasy. So I'm knitting those for my daughter, and she has those Birkenstock clogs, and I think they will look lovely because the back of the clog is open, so you can see the stitch pattern at the back of her foot. And yeah, I really need a pair for myself in my life too, I guess. So yeah, I will share all the details. I can't remember the name. It's something with Botanical, and the pattern will be released later this month, and of course I will share all the details when my pair is finished. But I am really having fun in this sweet pink color at the moment. Something else I'm having fun with is a really unexpected crochet work. Last week I organized my cotton yarn basket. If you are a member of the HeartJumping Friday part of this channel, you have seen that in my latest episode this Friday. But last week I showed you my lovely crochet blanket inspired by Emma Robinson. I'm really having so much fun crocheting this. It's really unexpected actually. But I was also really aware of the big mess in my cotton yarn basket. I have a big basket, or actually it's a crate. It was just such a big mess. All the skeins tangled together, unwind halfly, just a big mess. And there was a little bag in it with the smaller yarn scraps that was even worse. So I spent a whole afternoon and an whole evening untangling the mess. And I really love doing that. It's so calming and relaxing. I don't know, I love decluttering too. Yeah, I don't know, it has a really positive effect on my mental well-being, I guess. Especially when I'm busy and stressed. Organizing something is really satisfying, and it really calms my nerves. So I really enjoyed it. And also, when you have a big basket filled with mess, a messy basket, it feels like an energy leak. I don't like to take care of my stuff that way, but it mainly just happened, and just fixing it, making it nice and neat again. It's, yeah, I really love ordering my yarn in baskets and all kinds of stuff. So I did do that, and then suddenly I felt so inspired to use those cotton scraps. And oh, I need another basket. Where up here it is. I am really inspired. All the things in this basket are really inspired by one of my knitting friends. A few months ago, weeks ago, no, it's quite some time ago, I visited her at home, and I shared it in the podcast that I made a garland with those tiny yarn ends. She had those tiny, yeah, I have no idea how you call those. The last bits and bobs of your yarn, you can crochet them into these tiny fringes, I guess you call it like that. And then when you have a lot, you just put another little bit of yarn and you have a garland. So I have one in my kitchen, and she used a pattern by a Dutch crocheter, but I simplified it. I just, when I have a tiny bit of yarn, I don't think I have, for example, such a tiny bit. Come. Yeah, oh, all the dog hair is everywhere. Oh, I hate it. Yeah, such tiny bits. I just make a long chain, crochet chains. I chain it all away, and then I bind them together, and I tie the ends together, and then you have this little tiny fringe. So that's all. So those tiny yarn ends you don't know what to do with become lovely garlands, or you can put it on a present or whatever. But I also received something else from her that day, and yesterday I was laying at the couch. I never lay at our couch. I always sit at our couch because I am knitting or crocheting. I never spend horizontal time at the couch. But yesterday, somehow I was laying on the couch, and it's quite interesting. When you lay, you see all things in from a different perspective than when you are vertical, when you sit. So that was quite interesting. It's very interesting to lay it on the ground, at the ground, on the ground, at the ground, on the ground, I guess. Just when you are in your living room and you are laying on the ground and you are watching through your hole, you see total different things than when you're standing or sitting. So that was interesting and refreshing. So I was laying at the couch, on the couch. You know it. Please help me. Give me some English lessons. And I saw this hanging somewhere at the wall. And I really love this one. This is a tiny ornament, I guess you call it like this, like that. Both sides are the same and it's filled with yarn scraps. I don't know if you can see it. All the tiny yarn scraps. And I really love this thing. And suddenly I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to make those crochet ornaments too. So I started searching on Pinterest. I didn't really look at this one because I think I could make it without a pattern if I did, but I didn't do that. I was searching on Pinterest, but I didn't know how to call this crochet ornament. And in the end I came with a tutorial for a crochet bubble. So these ones, and I think they are actually meant as Christmas ornaments for in your tree. Look at those tiny things. I had so much fun making these. They do remind me of my beginner crochet years. I started crocheting 15 years ago and that was my first successful experience crafting wise. I had some knitting experience which didn't turn out very positive, but with crochet and especially the granny squares, it finally clicked and I never stopped crocheting again ever. I always kept crocheting since then, 15 years ago, but knitting, it became a bigger part of my life the last few years. But this project remind me of my crochet, my love for crochet. This is really a playful project, playing, and I suddenly realized that's quite a big difference with knitting. Knitting doesn't feel like playing, although when I'm knitting those kind of garments it feels a little bit more like playing with all the colors, but mainly when I'm... Oh, I didn't hang it back. I just filmed my Dutch episode. I didn't hang it back. It's already here. When I'm knitting a plain garment, which I really love to wear, it doesn't feel like playing. It's more functional. Knitting garments or socks or sewing garments, it's functional. When you make something yourself, you don't have to buy, you can wear it. And it doesn't really feel like playing. Every now and then, but mostly not. This is really something I don't need in my life. It doesn't have a function other than making me happy. So I do need it in my life. What am I saying? Yeah, it's just, yeah, like if I'm a child coloring a color book or something, that the same feeling I have. Oh, this one tries to escape. So I had so much fun. I filmed them with yarn ends too. I saved them and I filled them, and yeah, you can hang them, and I have no idea what to do, but I feel the really strong desire to make a lot of them. I think it will be so much fun when I have a big basket filled with all those bubbles in all the colors, and I can decorate my Christmas tree with it, although I don't really love my Christmas tree to be so bright, but it's just playing, and it reminds me that I love playing. And when I have it in a basket just in my room and I watch into this basket, I already have that little tiny small heart jumping moment. When I see this basket I think, oh, I love it, and that's enough. That's enough. So when you need heart jumping moments, crochet some bubbles, put them in a nice basket somewhere in the house where you pass every now and then you can take a look in your basket, and then you have the heart jumping moment. It's so simple as that. Oh, again. So yeah, it really feels heart jumping to turn your crochet scraps into tiny little happy things. I used a tutorial. It was from a British crocheter. I don't know her name, but I will link it down below. It was very helpful, very clear tutorial, and I really love making them. I can make them by hand right now. Yeah, I also love this one, especially the little scallop border. It reminds me of a flower. It's so lovely. So I will make different ones, but for now I'm just, yeah, it's so satisfying to make the same thing in different color combinations over and over again. I also have that feeling with making granny squares over and over again, and just the different color combination. It's so, I'm very bright today. It's a very great day outside. Yeah, I'm very bright. Yeah, there is some brown in everyone. Brown, brown, and here a little bit of brown. I add brown to all the bright colored things. Yeah, a little bit of Sarah sauce. Okay, I add a lot of brown to this cardigan. This is my Maema cardigan. Let me put it on the hanger, then it looks a little bit more attractive. Yesterday evening I split it for the sleeves. That's always a very good moment. This is the Maema cardigan. It's a pattern by Megan Nodecker from Pip and Pin, and I'm making it very plain because the original pattern has a lovely brioche stitch pattern at the front parts and at the back. But because my yarn is so colorful, not colorful, brownish colorful, there is happening so much color wise. Adding a stitch pattern was just too much, but I wanted to make this cardigan because I made it before, and that's absolutely my favorite summer cardigan. I make the fingering weight Maema pattern, but you also have a DK weight right now. I'm knitting with lovely hand-dyed merino yarn from a Dutch dyer. I'm a little bit worried because it's a single ply merino how it will be pilling wise, but we shall see. I love the color, it's really making me happy, and yeah. I had my doubts about the sleeves. The original pattern has quite some big wide sleeves, and I don't really want that. And I didn't make good notes on my first one, but there was a note. I had 2 times 42 stitches on my needle, so I'm quite sure I knitted the sleeves magic loop for the sleeves. I knitted the sleeves magic loop, so that means 84 in total. So I thought, okay, let's hold back to that, and I made them a little bit wider right now. And then when I split it for the sleeves, I needed to add 11 stitches for the underarm parts, and then I thought, okay, I didn't count them into the 84 stitches, so I have way too much stitches right now. I guess I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to I didn't cast on 11 but 10 stitches because I love the number of 10 more, and I am not doing a stitch pattern, so it doesn't matter. I was not sure if I could add less stitches because I needed it in the body fabric. So now I'm a little bit worried that my sleeves will be too wide. And I can put it on right now. One sleeve I already put on the shorties because I will knit the sleeves on shorties. I am knitting the cardigan on a 2.75mm needle, and I put the 3.25 shorty tips on it because I always go opposite for the sleeves. It's a smaller circumference, so I knit a little bit tighter. And because I will knit the sleeves English style, I didn't go to 3mm needles but to 3.25 because my English style knitting is also a little bit tighter than my continental style. The other sleeve, I only had one small cable available, so the other I put on hold, and that's also good because I can fit a little bit better. I can fit in it. It's always a nice moment when you are knitting the endless rows just before splitting for the sleeves. You have that with when you are knitting a round yoke or a raglan, just before splitting on for the sleeves, the rows are endless, or the rounds are endless, and you can't wait. And now this one is, because it's a tiny small cable, it's not really I don't think, yeah, it's, oh, I love the color. I really love this color. Yeah, okay, so this one is the best side to see, but you can see my sleeve is quite deep. The armhole, of course, there are no stitches yet, so it will be a little bit less white before when I will put it on the knitting needle. I'm a little bit doubting because the sleeves of my first Maema cardigan, I just knitted them straight, and I did quite some decreases in the last round before the ribbing, which make it a little bit into puffy sleeves, and I love the look of that. And it was my plan to do that for this one too, but I'm doubting right now because when the other sleeves are a little bit fitted. I don't want my sleeves to be too wide. I love it that the armpit is not really tight because I will wear this quite a lot also with when the fabric can just touch my armpit. I don't know how, when I'm wearing tanks and I put this cardigan over when in the morning it is a little bit chilly, or in the evening there's no fabric between the skin of my armpit and this cardigan. So it's lovely when there is some air so it can still breathe, because this is not the best place smell wise to stay in summer. So I think it's nice for the cardigan that it can be a little bit further away from that part. So I don't want it to be too tight. I can do some decreases when I'm picking up stitches for the armhole, but I don't want this part to be too wide. So maybe, yeah, I just need to try some things, and that's why I don't really love knitting the first sleeve. A lot of people are struggling with the second sleeve or the second sock syndrome. I never do. I am struggling with the first sleeve syndrome, because then you have to find out all the things. You have to measure, you have to fit, and by just keeping track on what you are doing for the first sleeve, the second sleeve, it will be very easy because you just made a replica of it. You just do the same as you do with the first sleeve. So yeah. What I will do now, Sylvia told me when you are knitting with hand-dyed yarn, you have to alternate a little bit. When you are just knitting away all the yarn and you attach a new skein, there can be a line visible. And she showed me when you just put the skeins together, when they are not winded but just the loose skeins, you can see if there's a color difference, and there was not much color difference in those skeins, but she advised to alternate a few rows around before you switch color. So you knit one, yeah, I'm knitting back and forth, so I knit 2 rows with this color and 2 rows with the new one, and do that for a few times. There might be a little bit of striping, but there will not be a very clear line. So I will do that for the body, but also I will use a little bit of this color for the sleeves to do the same. So knit a few centimeters at the sleeves with the first skein, and then starting to do some helical knitting with the second skein, and then only knit with the second skein. So what I will do now with this one is knit a few centimeters for the body, so there's a little bit of extra fabric under my armpits, and then pick up the stitches for the sleeves, finish the sleeves, and then finish the body. Yeah, really looking forward to have this cardigan. I really need it in my life. This will be the perfect thin summer throw over. It will be open fronted, no bottom bands for this one, and just a really nice soft woolly layer for summer nights and summer evenings. It is quite a boring knit right now, so I won't put it in a project bag. With those boring knits, I just put them on the table where I can just pick them up. Oh, I'm sorry. Where I can just pick them up quite easily when I'm waiting. For example, this morning, my hanger wants attention. For this morning, I was boiling some eggs for breakfast, and I needed to wait a few minutes until the water boiled. And then when the project is just close to me, I can just pick it up and knit a few stitches while waiting. And knitting all those few stitches in between makes a cardigan too, and otherwise it will be way too boring for me. I get distracted when I'm knitting on it, so I will do this when I'm listening to people, listening to an audiobook. It's just, it doesn't ask for a lot of attention from my brain. It's just keeping my hands busy. Yeah, and I really need this cardigan. So yeah, I hope I will spend a lot of knitting time on it, and I can show you a finished object quite soon. Next week there will be no episode. I have a little break. I will make a holiday trip, so no YouTube episodes next week. But I will do knitting and crochet, and this one I will definitely bring with me. So I hope I can make some progress, which I can share with you the other week when I'm back. So this was it for today. I wish you a very lovely week filled with a lot of heart jumping moments. If you can't find them, create them. Here is one heart jumping moment. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!